Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, I just want to. I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes trying to figure this out. Dude, my lips look crazy red. My lips look so red, like I got lipstick on. I swear that when I look at this on my. Like, I'm sitting here, I just drank my pre workout because I'm about to go to the gym. I'm like, it's red. I'm like, there's no way that my lips are actually this red from this pre-workout. And I looked in my selfie camera, like on my phone, and my lips look very normal and pink. So it's something with the color correction I got going on with the camera. But it is hilarious. And now you won't be able to not pay attention to it. But welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little while. Oh man, I'm gonna get up on the mic like I'm supposed to, and you're gonna make fun of me on Twitter. So let's look at the market. I know it's been a little while since I have updated. A few things happened. Uh, Mainly on Thursday, my internet went out for some reason, and then it was like Thursday night. I was getting ready to watch Thursday night football. I was all excited. Um, and then my internet literally went out at 7 p.m. The game was supposed to come on like 20 minutes later. So then I spent the next 2 hours on the phone with AT&T. They sent somebody out. They were like, the earliest we can get somebody out there is Monday. I was like, dude, I got toddlers. Like, do you understand? And then they came out, and the guy told me today that some other technician was out there and unplugged something. Oh, let me make sure. Okay. Unplugged something out of the box. The other thing that happened was I created 3 videos on like Tuesday or something. And I did updates on Spy. I did updates on AMC. I did updates on Luna Classic and what was going on with that. And you can even see that I have this line drawn out for what I thought was going to happen next. And it kind of did. But my audio was playing twice in those videos. So it sounded like I was in like a concert hall or something. And you were hearing me talk twice. And it was very annoying. And I didn't realize it until the videos were all up for like an hour. Oh man, we're running a high. This is a very high price production operation we got going on here, guys. So just, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you make sure you're supporting this channel, because we obviously invest a bunch back into the channel. But anyway, my producers, thank you guys for catching. But anyway, let's get into these charts, man. Let's look at some charts. So this is why I say follow me on Twitter, because stuff like this happens. So make sure you're following me on Twitter, because I was updating on Twitter what I was thinking throughout the day, throughout the days as these days were going on, because I pretty much didn't post last week. And probably back on September, I would just say it would have been 6th or 7th. Yeah, probably the 6th, because I believe that we were below this 395 level. I was saying when we were building up here that this was looking like pretty healthy market structure that was developing down here, off of these support trends for SPY. And I think actually specifically I was doing it on the ES1 chart, because I was noticing that you were finding support on this uptrend that you had here. So yeah, it would have actually been the 7th. As well as, no, it would have been the 6th, because you closed above it, and then the next day you opened and you just rocketed right up. You found support in the 618 Fibonacci level, as well as broke out of this falling wedge structure that you had here. So I was actually very happy with the way the structure looked. And obviously, everybody on Twitter was like, oh man, it's a bear market. We're going to crash, you know. Because that's all I ever see on Twitter now, is literally no matter what I say, if it isn't bullish, I mean, if it's bullish at all, oh, dude, you can see through me a little bit. What's up with that, dude? Is my green screen? What's going on, dude? Okay. I don't know what's going on. If you tweet anything remotely bullish on the market, at least me, all I get is a bunch of people with like 20 followers telling me about inflation and the housing market and this and that and everything, and I'm just sitting here like, that's why we use technical analysis, right? Because like if I wanted to make fundamental cases for or against the market, I could do that. But you have to realize that the way that institutions communicate uh, and the way that institutions behave within the market has nothing to do with those narratives. Those narratives are a weapon. Those narratives are a weapon. You didn't hear that. Those narratives are a weapon to justify price action, right? So to either direction. So pay attention, because this is what they're telling. This is what's happening. This is what is going to drive the price. The price action is what drives the day-to-day price of the market, not all of these narratives. The narratives play out throughout price action over the course of time, but first, this is how you determine what's going to happen with price, okay? I hope that I explained that clearly, but that is the fundamental thesis of the way that I view day-to-day price action in the market. I invest in fundamentals, but on a day-to-day basis, I determine price action on technicals. Does that make sense? All right. Let's get into it. What do we think is happening next? So on Twitter, I said that 412 was going to be like 411, 412, I believe. I can pull up the tweet right quick, actually, because you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I bet you did say that. I'll actually pull up the tweet for you. I'll go to media. I'll get it quicker. No, it actually wasn't a chart. Oh, this is such a good video so far. I'm doing so good. All right, so I tweeted at close on Friday that I'm expecting futures to be gapped up hard by the time market opens Monday. 411 on SPY will be the level to watch. The reason that I came up with 411 as a level is because if you draw, I believe, from here to here, a Fibonacci retracement, 411.45 is the 707 for this move, right? And now you're seeing that you got your gap up, and now you're already looking double toppy going into CPI tomorrow on this 411.45 level. And so what I would actually, like, just looking at this chart, like, on a very brief look, okay, short term, I do think that tomorrow you get a swing down and you retest the bottom of this rising wedge. I do, however, believe that you also see bullish continuation within this wedge. I don't see any reason for you to immediately break down out of the bottom of this, obviously, other than the many bearish fundamental factors within the market that you guys have told me about so many times. So perhaps, like, by the time you open tomorrow, you pop up here. You could even go up to this 236, right? Retest this 236 Fibonacci from the macro. And then you have a push down based on CPI data, right? Whatever they say, inflation, yada, yada. You could go back and fill this gap up. That makes sense. I don't mind that. And so what does that mean? So then what this starts to look like is a rounding out distribution. It's essentially what's going on, in my opinion. I do think that you are having some distribution behavior here. So let's assume that the top here ends up being that 413-ish level. Off of that, what are you talking about then? So your 382s on both of these moves are around 403, 404, and your Fibonacci 618 through 707 is 396 through 398. I actually do think that you have a good likelihood of revisiting this region. It looks like a natural evolution of this chart. This chart looks like you want to come back and retest the liquidity that is left behind at this 400-ish level now, okay? So then this is behaving as an accumulation in this key zone, like we pointed out. And then now this is a shorter term distribution that's occurring, driving price down to retest this liquidity, of which I am actually pretty confident that you have somewhat of a good reaction. Maybe you even swoop a little bit lower down to this 398. What did we say the 707 was? Look, the 707 on this chart is magic, guys. So whatever you top out at, just be watching that 707. Yeah, perhaps you swoop all the way down. That actually, I don't mind it. So obviously it's not a straight line. It could be, right? We've seen Powell have that effect very recently on the market. But yeah, I like this correlation here. And then maybe you ride this trend line up a little bit, and then you have your next accumulation, and then we see what we test from there. I don't think that you're going to swing all the way back up to the macro bear trend just yet. I don't think you're prepared for that. So just so that you can see, oh my goodness, this chart looks like a mess now. Let me see what I'm trying to get rid of to make it look a little cleaner. Yeah, I mean, you found really good support on this midline that we were watching, right? I mean, you broke through it briefly, you tested your Fibonacci, and you came right back. I told you guys that this was a line to watch, this kind of middling support and resistance trend line that is developed over the course of the year. So that's basically how I'm feeling about the markets. I mean, look, you could extend further up here, and I just really don't think that this wedge is going to carry you all the way here. Let me make sure my camera's still working with my red lips. I promise they're like pink in real life. I don't know how I can illustrate this for you. Hold on. It's just, look, it's funny. And yeah, I'm a little self-conscious. I'm not a very good selfie guy. Let's see if it looks. Yeah, see, they're not that red. You see what I'm saying? Come, leave me alone. All right. Yeah. So anyway, I do think that you completed this distribution here, this local distribution up here that had us go up to 431. You have now an accumulation. I do believe that you've had a sign of strength here, and you're gonna be pressing downward to retest this 400-ish region. And this liquidity zone I would extend in this manner now. And so that's kind of the depth that I'm expecting of this move down. Now, if you break below at any point, see, that's another thing. Like, I'm not here to have like a biased take. If you break below this trend line, and then you especially break out of this liquidity level, then that's very bearish. You break through this red liquidity box that we have drawn here. It's quite bearish, and that bottom would be 394. So if you break below 394 and you make a new low on this like little tap of 389, you're in very bearish territory, and you're going to continue downward very aggressively. Let's look at this retracement from the top here just to be safe. Another potential scenario, you could press up to 418 if you're measuring off of this big 707. This looks like an ABC. Wow, man. Whoa. I'm just analyzing in real time here. Let me make this a little bit bigger so it's easier for you guys to see. Oh, it's not on log. What is wrong with TradingView? Why does it do this to me, dude? It literally always changes it back. I literally never use fib without log. That's so aggravating. Okay, alternatively, so as of right now, and I can change my mind by the end of this video, as of right now, I do expect that you roll over, okay? I do expect that you roll over somewhere between 412 and 414-ish. So, again, this is including all of those Fibonacci's that were there. So I do expect that you have some sort of rolling kind of unsuccessful push-up and then a breakdown. That is what I'm expecting, okay? But alternatively, in a more bullish scenario, which is, again, I'm really not expecting this sort of push up, but you could more quickly swing lower, and then, what's my date range on that? That's like a week, okay? maybe we need to go to a smaller time frame so I can illustrate this a little bit better. I mean, the 707. Yeah, no, I don't think you're gonna push all the way up. I would be very surprised if you swung up and you tested this 418 level at this point. And if you did, it would be pretty ugly going back down at this point. I don't think that you're quite ready for that. But regardless, whatever happens, in the coming, there is going to be, in my opinion, a push down. I'm not telling you to go out and buy options, okay? I'm not telling you to go out and buy puts. That's not what I'm telling you. This is not financial advice. You're going to do whatever you're going to do, and that's going to be your decision. You're going to have to live with that, you and your family, okay? So think very long and hard about that. Read the description, okay? I'm not a financial advisor. I got to get ready for the gym. Let's close up the video. Look, it doesn't look bad. This doesn't look impossible. But I do think that you need a little bit of depth to be added to this move first before you press up further. But I have seen crazier things occur. Let's look at ES1 and maybe I'll come to a better conclusion based on that. It's hard for me to... I will say, remember we were talking about the 9-week in the 9-week and the 21-week EMA cross? You have now had that crossover. And now you're trading above both of those EMAs, which is a very, very bullish scenario. So just something to keep your mind on. I would add these to your chart today, 9-week and 21-week EMAs, because they're going to play a big role in the upcoming price action over the course of the next few weeks on this chart. That's pretty much that. I posted in the videos that I posted, and probably on Twitter, though, I was very bullish on AMC. I freaking loved the way that AMC was forming this rounding bottom outside of this falling wedge here. I freaking love the way that it just perfectly swooped along these trend lines in this way. Oh, man, it was so beautiful. Right around the 786. Once it broke above this 831 level, I was like, oh, yeah, baby. This thing is about to move, and it sure freaking did. I know it doesn't look like a relatively big move, but from there, I mean, from that 786 now, you've seen 24% on that, which is awesome. So I freaking love this move, dude. Also, Ape on Twitter on Saturday, like in the middle of the night, I was like, Ape looks like it just wants to freaking go crazy. And it did. It freaking gapped up out of this world, and then it kind of got pretty range bound here. I will say that now it does look like it wants to come back down and test maybe this 540-ish region after this crazy ass bump that it had. Again, what do you? Yeah, I mean, you jumped 13% in a day before you opened. So that was pretty exciting, but I do think that you kind of come back, retest these regions, this 540-ish region, and then we'll see where we go from there. I kind of want to see this form out a little bit more before I try and make any distinction, because you do have this really weird, this crime candle at the end there. I love making YouTube videos. It's one of those things where, like, I sit there and I'm like, do I want to make a YouTube video? Yeah, but then I gotta this and that and but then I make it and I'm like, oh, this is so much fun. And then I get to do the little trolling thing where, like, I'm sitting there going, you know, assuming what the trolls are gonna say. Similar move on Bitcoin to the AMC thing. You broke out this falling wedge and then you just kind of made this rounding play back for this retest, and then boom. On this one, when I saw it break above, you had this rocket ship above 25 is what it was, 20,500. I said, I literally tweeted, if you go through 20,500, you're going to 22.5. That was based on this fib. And the point of this is to show you guys, like, kind of how I see the market. But yeah, so basically, once it got through 25. So this is kind of a combined look, but I was looking at this as like the top of this trading range, and at the time it was kind of fiddling around here a little bit. But I said, look, if it goes through 25, it's going to 22.5, and I was basing that on this Fibonacci off of this trading range. I knew that if you broke this level, most likely scenario was you were going to press right through and test your next, your key Fibonacci levels. And it would be odd if you got rejected at 21.5, even though this is a liquidity zone, because the Fibonacci is going to act as a magnet once you establish that you have a local bottom in, which is what you had occur there. So that's basically the video. Keep it relatively short here. I got to go to the gym. But, 20 minutes. And, yeah, probably some interesting stuff here. Luna Classic, since I made that video, I would have made the video on September 6th. So that's when I made all the other videos, too. We had this channel here. Dude, I am so freaking mad about this thing because I wanted to hop in shorts on this. But I never got my entry. I really wanted to. There was the chart's not updated to what I was doing on mobile, but there were correlated Fibonacci's with this trend line. It was probably something like up here. I was looking for an entry at like 44 cents. Obviously, it's 0.00044, but you get what I'm saying. But anyway, I was looking for that sort of correlation for an entry, and instead, you just kind of double topped on this 43.4 cents, and then you got sent to fucking hell, and I missed out on that entire short opportunity, which I was very sad about. But it was a good run for Luna Classic. This thing is really liked macro 0.5 Fibonacci's is what I noticed about it. I'm not gonna try and I don't know where that. If you did from the bottom to the top, woo, 21. Damn, bro. If I would have entered that short, and then it does end up going all the, oh my god, it does end up going all the way to that 0.5, that would be a 50% move. It's part of the game, man. Look, if you don't get what you want, if you don't get the entry that you want, that you're most comfortable with, I was very confident that once you broke here, but this thing has been so volatile that it's so easy to get liquidated or stopped out because every little move that it looks like here is like a giant percentage move, and so you're getting liquidated on relatively small moves or stopped out in my case, in most cases. And I was like, I need to get a perfect entry because most of these moves happen overnight. Composite Man never sleeps. This actually does look pretty good for a short, though. I'm going to be watching this thing because it looks like it's trying to get rejected off of this this region right freaking now. So I'm going to be watching this because this could be, if you make a new low, I might look for an entry if it goes below 32.4 and try and get an extension down here to 27 cents and get up out of here. But just to illustrate what I'm saying, maybe. That was totally hypothetical. I'm going to have to sit down and chart it for a little while. But like if I do 5x leverage on that, then that's like, 60-something%. Not bad. Not bad for a day's work. ETH kind of just doing the same thing it's been doing. They had this weird move that occurred here, but everything has been kind of playing to. This looks good. This looks like distribution, but then it looks like you kind of just are accumulating up out of here now, right? You're holding a pretty strong base. It really just looks like you're retesting that resistance liquidity here. So I'd actually look. I'm pretty optimistic on crypto right now. You could see a swing down. Bitcoin does look like it kind of wants to get rejected here a little bit and get pushed down back to 21.6. Now would be the time to test that region, wouldn't it? And then we'll see where it goes from there. You do have this big, ugly green here, and I usually like to see that sort of stuff get cleared out after the fact. So maybe down to 25, but we'll play it by ear. I'm not really optimistic that you're just going to continue rallying from here. That's definitely not what I'm expecting. So I think that the opportunity is probably looking for a new long entry. Once you kind of establish a top, make a new low, maybe on this 22,000. Once you break below 21.9 or so, start drawing Fibonacci's, looking for key levels. for a good entry. Just an example of how you could do that is you pull here. Yeah, I mean, you could go look for this 618 down here at 20,000 for another long opportunity, possibly. Just kind of see what the volume's doing at that time. But yeah, so that's pretty much the video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and until next time, I added another 5 minutes. Look at that.